Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bit of a different video because I feel like I say that all the time and it's never a different video, but I don't do this very often. I've got an Amazon favourites. I opened up my YouTube this morning and every single person in my feed had uploaded an Amazon favourites and I was like, I'm feeling left out. I'm going to do an Amazon favourites. I didn't want to be left behind. I didn't want to be the only person not making an Amazon favourites. I actually watched a couple of them, and usually in the past when I've watched these Amazon favourites, I've kind of felt a little bit like people have gone and purchased things from Amazon just to make an Amazon favourites, like organisers for things that don't need to be organised. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of been a bit like, these are not appealing to me, which sounds counterintuitive. Why would you make the video? But I watched a couple of them and was like, okay, some of the people that I follow had made videos that were legitimately quite useful, things that I'd never even heard of, that would be potentially things that I would buy. So I have a very small collection of items from Amazon that I either use all the time, or maybe not that obvious that you can buy, or just kind of a little bit exciting. I'm going to start with one thing that I know I'm going to forget to mention if I don't mention it first of all, and it is my Amazon watch strap. I get questions about this legitimately. I know people say this, but I get questions about this all the time. I did get it from Amazon, and it's one of those ones that you have to change the links yourself. So it arrives kind of and it's massive, and then you've got the little tools. It's very, very easy. You kind of push it out one side, slot it back in again. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And I like this because it's kind of mixed metals, and I wear mixed metals. So that's why I picked it. You can get lots of different ones, like rose gold ones, all stainless steel, whatever you want. I wear this every day. It's been fine when I've accidentally worn it in the bath, which I know. And this is like the Series 1 Apple Watch. I haven't had a problem with it. Once I was in the hot tub and I put it on the side of the hot tub, completely forgot about it. The next day, I was wondering where my watch was. We put the hot tub lid back on and it had just sunk to the bottom of the hot tub. I was like, oh my God, well, that's dead. It wasn't. It was completely fine. So a lot of this stuff, it says like not waterproof, it's just water resistant. I think that's just to cover themselves because this should not be waterproof and it's been absolutely fine. But also so has the strap because the strap was on it and it hasn't tarnished or rusted. I'm not 100% sure whether or not it is stainless steel, but I think it probably is. Either way, I will find the exact one and link it for you below. Another thing that I use all the time that I have not got a physical object to remind me to talk about is Audible. I always leave that linked in the description bar. I have paid for Audible for several years now. I get a book a month. I love listening to audiobooks. It was my introduction to podcasts. My first ever audiobook was Tina Fey's Bossy Pants. Loved that so much that I downloaded Yes Please from Amy Poehler. I'd already read the entire book, but I wanted to listen to her speak it, to read it out loud. And they tend to be my favourite kinds of books. Autobiographies read by the author are my absolute favourites. And then there are occasional novels that kind of slip through the net. I really like the Thursday Murder Club, that whole series. I'm currently listening to the most recent one of that. Dawn French's novels as well were really great because they're kind of done as plays. She's got one called According to Yes, which is one of my all-time favourites. Another one is Heartburn by Nora Ephron, which is read by Meryl Streep and is absolutely fantastic. If you've ever watched the film, it is terrible compared to the book. It's kind of it's like an abridged version of the book. So if the book was a full film and they didn't take anything out of it, the film would probably be like 6 hours long. It's just absolutely brilliant. And obviously read by Meryl Streep. You really feel like you are listening to a person's real story, and it is partially Nora Ephron's actual. It's based on her real life, which makes it all the more interesting. As you're listening to the book or reading the book, you are Googling, who is this person based on? Well, quite interesting because they are based on real people. Anyway, I listen to easily a book every month, and they also do podcasts and stuff on there as well. Speaking of Dawn French, they've got French and Saunders podcast on Audible that is Audible exclusive. So yeah, they were the two things that I wanted to mention because I know I'll forget if I don't mention them straight out of the gate. I have 2 subscriptions. One of them is my coffee syrup. So once every, I think it's 3 months, I get a big bottle of vanilla syrup. So I'm never out of that because previously I would always wait for it to run out and then I'm like, I don't really like sugar in my coffee. I only like kind of like a flavoured syrup. And the other thing that I have as a delivery is this Jessica Phenomen oil. cuticle oil. This is the one that my nail tech recommended to me. It has been a complete game changer in terms of keeping my nails from drying out. Like my nail beds get really dry. The outside of my nails get quite dry, like my cuticles. But outside of, like, you know, the actual finger outside of the nail, it gets really dry and flaky. And then it kind of splits and it gets really uncomfortable, and this has helped so much to avoid that and to keep my gels looking really fresh. What I have on my nails is like a hard gel, what's it called? Builder gel. So it's pretty much like acrylic. It's, you know, it's just a different version of that kind of thing. By which I mean it's still a nail extension. It's still very, very solid and hard. But what would happen before was it would start to kind of lift and peel away, or it will kind of chip away because my nails were so dry. Keeping them hydrated with this nail oil has stopped that from happening. So they don't lift at the sides so much anymore. Just going to put the rest of the oil in the ends of my hair. Also, I used today my old Cloud 9 conical wand. Someone mentioned this to me when I was talking about looking for a curl or a hair wand, and someone was like, well, why don't you use your old Cloud 9 one that you used to love so much? And I'll tell you why. The reason that I stopped using it was I thought that the last time I did use it, I was finding that it wasn't kind of curling from the top because of the shape of it. The curls were kind of dropping out at the top, and then I was just getting curls at the bottom of my hair because they were kind of small. So today I used it and I tried to focus as much of the curl as I could in the wider part of the wand, and it's worked really well. I'm going to see how well these last, but I also booked in for my dry bar appointment in Vegas on Monday, which is really exciting. As I booked it, it was like 8 days away. 8 days. 8 days! 7 days as you watch this, and we will be in Las Vegas renewing our vows. It feels like 10 years in the making. Speaking of which, I actually bought this and then I completely forgot about it until I was coming to make this video, and I was like, oh my God, I bought these Crest white strips months ago and thought 10 days before I'm going to start using them. I'm going to start using them today. I was supposed to start using them 2 days ago. So you might not know, you can actually purchase these from Amazon.com. I knew about this because someone mentioned them in a vlog that my husband was watching. It was a Disney vlogger. I think it was the Lodge guys. And they said that you could buy them from Amazon.com. So I didn't pay any kind of customs. The shipping wasn't too bad. I think it was relatively cheap compared to what I thought it was going to be. In all, I think they probably cost me about £35, which is expensive, but they're otherwise unavailable in the UK. And in terms of teeth whitening, they are really, really effective, way cheaper than anything else that you could do that would be as effective in the UK. And it's just a nice way to be able to get something from America that you couldn't usually. So I will leave the link for that for you below. As you can see, I haven't used them yet, but I have used Crest white strips in the past, and I will be starting that course today. Another thing we'll be taking away with us is this travel steamer. I've had this travel steamer for years. I actually bought this, I want to say I bought this like 5 years ago, and then funnily enough, like 2 months later for my birthday, my mum bought me like a full-size proper steamer. This is actually better. Don't tell my mum, but this is actually better. It's like a kettle. So you open it up, you put water in there, you then turn it on and it boils and the steam comes out of the top. It is literally exactly the same mechanic as a kettle. And then you hold it up to the garment that you're steaming, a load of steam comes out and it just kind of drops out all of the wrinkles. Obviously it depends on the item. You're not going to be able to steam jeans, but if you've got like a silk top, or I'm going to take this for my wedding dress, shirts, anything that's kind of a thin fabric, things that crease really easily, this is an absolute lifesaver. So I'm going to take this with us. This is a travel-sized one, but we use this at home all the time. So if I want to steam something that maybe would be a little bit delicate for ironing, or just because I never ever iron t-shirts, that kind of thing, it's amazing. In fact, my daughter took it away. I had to go and save it from her bedroom because she used it the other day. Another travel item. This is not intentionally travel focused, but it actually is 100% travel focused. This ANKER phone charger that we've been using a ton recently because we've been to London a couple of times, and if you ever travel with children, they are constantly needing to charge their phones. I bought this for me and I never get to use it. Quite looking forward to having this just for myself in Las Vegas. So you charge it up. I know you know how a power bank works, but you charge it up and then it's flashing here because it's got no charge. I'm gonna just go and put it on charge right now. But you have 4 full charges. And this is more than 4 full charges for my phone. This is like, I could probably get 6 full charges out of this if I absolutely needed to, or maybe like 4 iPad chargers. It lasts a really, really long time. And I've had this for years. It still works perfectly. It still holds a really, really good amount of charge. And you can still get exactly the same one. And the best thing is, these are cheaper now because there are newer and more exciting versions, and so you can get the original ones, and it's still lightweight, still really compact. You can get the original ones for a little bit cheaper. And the last thing in my accidental travel Amazon favourites is this. This I purchased very, very recently. I was looking for a travel tripod, and I had one. When we went to New York a few years ago, I bought one that I thought was like, this is the creme de la creme of travel tripods. I actually can't lay my hands on it. I don't know what I've done with it. It's really annoying. So part of it was I couldn't find it. I needed, it's because it's so small. I needed to get one for Vegas, and after looking, I was like, I just don't know where it is. So I'm going to buy another one, which I know is wasteful, but I don't feel that bad about it now that I've got this because it's so much better than the last one. So the previous one was kind of like tent pole leg type thing. Like you pulled it out. It was exactly like an extendable metal pole. I wish I had it to show you because you kind of pulled it out. That was really easy. But getting it back in again was not that simple because you kind of had to get it at exactly the right angle or it wouldn't go back together. Sometimes I was just like, ugh, and it just all of a sudden would go in, but there was no obvious, this is how you do it. So that was my only issue, is that sometimes I would put it out and I was a little bit concerned that I might not be able to compact it again. Other than that, it was fantastic, brilliant, came with a little Bluetooth remote, great. And you could use it with a proper camera as well because it had a little screw thing on top. You could use it with whatever you wanted. This is specifically for a phone, and I really don't know whether or not it would support the weight of something else. Although I'm thinking now, I wonder if this screws off. This might screw off and you might be able to put something else on it, but when it's fully extended, it is a little bit wobbly even with a phone, so I don't think that I would want to do that. But for a phone, it is perfect. So I'm just going to show you, oh, first of all, let's just show you how it is totally compacted. So this is as small as it can be. To say that this can actually extend to taller than me, this is pretty good. It easily will fit in my handbag. So first of all, obviously, you extend that, then you flip these little holder parts out. It's got a spring action. That is how it holds different sized phones. I don't know if you can tell, but that is a light. Unfortunately, oh, there we go. You can tell. So there's a light there and there's a light down here as well. So I could just use this for vlogging, and that's what the lights would be useful for if it's in a dark situation. So that's cute, that's nice enough already. It's also got a little button here. If I wanted to use it as a selfie stick, then I would extend it a little bit, and then I can use this button, use it as a selfie stick, use it to film, whatever, super useful. But here's where it gets really interesting. This extends so far, I can touch the ceiling. I can touch the ceiling. And then these open up, and the little button actually slides out, and you can use it as a remote, and it works with Bluetooth. It is really, really easy to collapse again. Have not had a problem with this at all. It's like seconds to put it back together. Just think, this is an essential. Like if you're traveling and you want to take pictures of yourself, you want to take pictures with yourself and your kids or your partner or whatever, family photos revolutionized by this. This thing that looks a little bit like a selfie stick, compacts down to practically nothing to put in your handbag. For mums who are never in family pictures, you can finally be in some pictures. You can finally be in some pictures. So I am taking this to Vegas with us because I want to take some pictures of Lee and I in various different places. And because we're traveling just the two of us, obviously there's no one to take our picture, apart from the fact that we are actually having pictures taken for the varial, but you know what I'm saying. I remember once going on holiday and someone asking me if we were there together because all of the pictures were of one of us taken by the other one. And I don't feel super comfortable giving people a camera or a phone in strangers. It's probably not the safest thing to do. Get one of these. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that some of these product recommendations have been useful, or maybe, wow, oh my God, I didn't know this existed. The tripod, I swear to God, everybody needs that tripod. They didn't arrive in time for me to show you. And I know this sounds like I'm one of those people that buys things from Amazon to show you an Amazon video, but yesterday I was looking to get some trainers. I think my favorite trainers are Adidas Stan Smiths. They're like really sleek. Because I was looking at like quite expensive training and I was like, I don't really want to spend a lot of money on trainers. I'm not excited about trainers. And so I was looking at Stan Smiths and I'm like, I thankfully can fit in junior sizes as a size 5. I found some that I thought were a pretty good deal. And then I found a pair on Amazon and they were £23. They should arrive today. They have not come yet. Otherwise I would have shown you them, but I will link them in case you're interested and they are still available. Because they are a particularly good deal. There was just one colourway that was that price. Some of them were so much more expensive, it's just crazy. Anyway, quite excited for those to arrive. Quite excited for packing them in my case to actually go on holiday after so many months of waiting to go. It's finally about to be here. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my second channel. It is Michaela Vlogs. That's where all of our Vegas stuff's going to be if you are interested in following us along while we are over there. But I will be posting some packing content as well because that has been requested, which I totally get because I love it too. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys next time. Bye!